Okay, so shall we move on into our tarot card portion of the
Gosh, I guess
day?
so. This has kind of been a quick astrology week, and I've been trying to keep a little quiet. So, if you're here joining us and you see us, if you know your big three in astrology, we'd love to see them down here in the chat. If you know your sun sign or your birthday and you'd like to know your sun sign, we can tell you that too. But we're going to start
Okay.
the tarot card portion of this. And Mel, what are we looking at here? What are we drawing on?
Okay, well, what I'm seeing in this week is a lot of Mercury Gemini action. And Gemini is the twins, it's the double, right? I'm making this up as I go along, right as we speak. But I really think that it should be sort of like communication and, right? Like Mercury is about our thoughts, plans, and communications. And then those other outer planets are about bigger things like responsibility, security, spirituality, and fundamental change. So, and definitely, there's a lot of new stuff happening because a lot of these planets are newly in their signs. So, how about what's coming in that's new and what's going out that's new?
Okay, so because we have a little bit of extra time. Will you do just like, will you draw cards on that in a general way, and then I'll draw cards on that in like a love way? Like, what did you say? What's coming in?
It's really just what's coming in, what's going out.
So we'll do that as a general read for you, and then I'll just draw the same cards on for a love read. Okay, like a career, and then I'll just use my Crystal Visions Tarot and do the same thing coming in and coming out. How about that?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so in general for this week, what is coming in? What can we be receptive to? What can we be open to? What can we be just alert to coming toward us at this time? All right, friends, that is the Five of Pentacles. And what that means is if you're going without something, you need to ask for help. And especially if it's something you need, okay, if you're going without a bill being paid, rent being paid, shoes on your feet, food in your fridge, you need to ask for help. And if you know somebody who is going without, we need to find a way to materially support us, okay? Human beings are just animals. We have needs. We got to have our hierarchy of needs met. And when we don't, we need support. Nobody does everything that we have. We don't have what we have by ourselves. We don't get what we have by ourselves. We all need some help from time to time.
If in your gut you feel like a neighbor, cousin, brother, sister, friend, or someone might be struggling, or, I'm struggling, like not sending texts to people that I know are struggling. But, it's really as simple as, hey, do you have something to eat today? Or,
Right.
I don't know. But I've been known to just like send a pizza over to somebody's house, so yeah,
Right.
but please
ask them what they're having
Please
for
ask
lunch.
for that help. And if somebody does send you that text and says, hey, do you have anything to eat? And you don't, say, no, I don't. And then tell them what you'd like. Like really, really, really get your basic needs taken care of, okay?
Yeah, 100. Okay, so that's what's coming in, is an opportunity to ask for help, to notice where there is need, and to step up in the way that you need to make sure that those needs are met. And I'm going to shuffle another moment here while I focus on what is leaving us this week. What is going out the door? What can we say goodbye to, bid a fond farewell to, or just be aware is moving away from us? That tore us apart. I see that. Okay, what's moving away from us? So, Eight of Pentacles, it's almost like it's almost like we've been in a learning and preparation phase, and now we're about to be ready. Okay. The Eight of Pentacles, this person is like an apprentice and they are practicing at something, trying to get really good at it. And so if this is in the position of what's leaving us, it's sort of like putting that, what is that? Training season's over. Dua Lipa has a song called Training Season is Over. And that's what this makes me think of, is like, okay, we're putting the lessons that we've learned, not well, to good use, but also just to put them behind us. We know what we know now, and we can move forward.
Right. And that practice that we used to do in a repetitive way may have been what got us into this. Okay. Whatever this is, like maybe it is it's broken down your body, maybe it is it's just made you depressed because all you do is go to work and that's all you do over and over and over again. So maybe it is that it's time that we, what's going out is the way that we work, the way in which we do things even in our everyday life, but really what we do for our munties and how we support ourselves.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yes. That labor side of work, that hard work side of work, which, is required in the world. Everybody has to work hard from time to time. That's how we get things done. But if you've really been at the grind, it's time to start thinking about how we can do things smarter instead of harder.
Yes, absolutely. And, like these last few months, I feel like we've been evaluating our relationship with what we do and what brings us joy and pleasure. And even in our work, like you should still be happy and healthy and everything in your workplace, So that's why a lot of us are opting to work from home, to be in the comfort of our own home, the comfort of our own bathroom, where we're not bullied by micromanagers or other people there that are trying to get on, to rise to the top. The competition, it just sucks.
And then the other thing I'm getting from this is, that it's okay now to lean on your expertise. You do know what you think you know about a certain subject. So, don't sell yourself short and say, oh, I don't have a lot of experience. If you know what you know, then you know it and you can share it. It has value.
Yeah. It kind of sounds like the conversation I had with you, like, oh, I think that you should, do this teaching thing instead of working so hard for,
Yes.
It is really about, trying to figure out what for me, I'm trying to figure out the next 30 years. I'm 52, 30 years would be 82. That's a lot of change, that can happen. There's a lot that can happen out there, but that's kind of what I'm, looking toward. I don't know why I said all that stuff, but
it's what comes up in the intuitive process.
Thank you. It just kind of comes up and I spit it out. Well, that doesn't sound very good either.
So what's coming up in the love lives of the people who watch
right.
Let's just skip right over
I am
that.
about to do a love tarot reading. We're going to do what's coming in for love. First of all, like, is love coming in? I guess would be the best question to ask with that one. Let's see here. So
that's a nice yes or no
yeah,
question.
It is. I have my Crystal Visions tarot cards, and the first card that I've chosen is the Page of Cups. And I like the Page of Cups. I think the Page of Cups has gone through and really healed themselves and has figured out a way that they like for things, the way that they like to emote what feels comfortable and soothing and supportive and protective. And I think that they've figured that out with themselves. You can see, like, they've got their good juju in the basket, right? Like they're placing everything. And so I would say that, yes, this is love coming in. And, yes, here we go. Definitely love coming in. And this is kind of mimicking something that I was saying yesterday in a reading. I feel like right now, if love comes in, it may just be kind of quick and fiery. A lot of us are still here with the Page of Cups. We're still, manifesting. We're still trying to figure out how we feel about things, even though we do have it, we have it outlined, and we're also becoming used to this new way forward, this new way of being, this new way of feeling that we figured out after blank happened. Like there's a lot of healing that's taking place here. And so I feel like, yes, there's some love coming in, but just don't mistake the love for lust. Okay. There's a big difference. And I think there's a lot of lust out there, like Saturn and Aries, air and fire. Like, I think that means I could probably talk anybody into anything that was willing to go, if the flame is already hot and going. Mm-hmm. So if you don't want to, say no. Consent is sexy. If you want to, ask. And just know that this might be quick.
Yeah, currently on the chart, Venus and Mars are still trine, which is a very graceful state of being together for these sort of archetypal lovers, and they're both in fire signs. So it is kind of a lusty, heated sort of interaction with our intimate partners. There is more opportunity for like a sexual or lusty thing to come up. And we don't want to make the mistake of thinking that because we've lusted after somebody, we're in love with them.
Right. All right. So that's what's coming in. I do believe some love. I do believe if you're looking for, just, some sexy times with someone, that's a possibility too. But I think we're going to really kind of keep it close to our chest right now. We're going to roll with it, but it's still coming. And I really feel like it's something that when the love comes in, it's going to strike you as, oh, this is something that I really like about a person. All right. And then what's going out, right, for love? Like, so what are we not putting up with in our love lives anymore this week? The Queen of Wands. So when I turn that over, I think of we're not dealing with anyone telling us what to do, first of all. And I don't know what that means.
I want to say, I think that it has to do with, in a relationship, there is a couple and there are two individuals. Okay. And, a couple has to be able to support those individuals having their own lives and their own power to do whatever it is that they need to do. But as a fire sign, I can say that sometimes an individual makes a choice that impacts the couple, and they do it impulsively, and then it is a negative impact on the couple. Okay, so the communication comes out again. It's like, let me talk this over with you. Do you think that we can, do you think that it will work for us to make these plans instead of those plans?
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Instead of just like, well, I can do whatever I want because I'm a grown-ass human being and I'm just going to do whatever I want.
And that's, I mean, we had that conversation. We had to have a conversation about something like we're not the best at communicating with each other. And I think that's fine. Sometimes you just want to go and do something, and it's not like you have to tell anybody. But yeah, I agree with you on this. And something else that's going out is maybe it is that we're always the quote unquote aggressor. Maybe it is that we're the ones who are always trying to start things. And maybe it is that we have to lay off and allow the other person to start things. Maybe that's the key to, having a better love life, a better sex life, a better communicative life. This is still about, how we're communicating. And so if you're coming in real hot all of the time, it's a little overwhelming sometimes, especially for someone who, I mean, like there's a million and one reasons why someone might not want to, get a little frisky or have sex, you know what I mean? Even in a relationship or even in a brand new relationship, we're all just kind of hung up on our hangups sometimes. So maybe it is that if you're normally the aggressor, you're the person that goes after someone, maybe it is that you just kind of hang back this time. You have some conversation and see what happens rather than just going full force, going for the, hey, you want to stay with me tonight kind of thing. Converse about it.
This is also coming back to our little conversation about leadership and relationships, because relationships are, ideally, a meeting of two equal people with different thoughts, feelings, skill sets, etc. So, you can be a take charge kind of person, and sometimes people really appreciate that, but you still have to allow the friendship, the relationship to develop, not just according to what you want from it, but according to what the other person wants from it.
Absolutely. As well. Thank you for saying that. So yeah, it looks like a good week for love. It looks like a good week to, communicate about love. It looks like there's some love or some sex coming in. Maybe you've got some free time and, maybe it's the weekend and people are out of town. I don't know. So, if you find that opportunity and it works for you, then go for it. But yeah. So, yeah. I think with that probably wraps up our show for today. It's only 10:45. It seems so odd to be wrapping up already, but there's always a reason for that. So thank you so much to everyone who's joined us today. We really appreciate you more than you know. The best way that you can support our channel is by subscribing to our channel. By commenting when you see us go live, hit that notification bell because we go live. I like to go live just kind of willy-nilly, so I don't like to always just,
Yeah, not all of these videos are planned, but if you like watching Jennifer's sweet cheeks, you should definitely be notified.
Right. And then, so Mel will be back tomorrow, which will actually be a rerun of this show. So if you missed the very beginning about the astrology of the week, then this is your chance to catch up on that. And on Wednesday and Friday, she'll also be releasing more astrology. On Thursday, we do Yes or No Tarot Showdown at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you can bring your yes or no question, a lot of love questions, a lot of career questions we've had, but any question is great. Type it into the chat and we'll answer it with tarot. We've been keeping up with psychic hits, and Mel has been having psychic hits, like she's been guessing things through tarot in the chat. And it's been quite interesting because it gives a little bit more power and push to your reading. So
yes,
anyway, we do lots of live stuff on here, and on Saturdays I've been experimenting at 3 p.m. I'm doing the big 3 and me. So if you know your big 3 and you want a tarot reading or you want to have a conversation about it so I can learn astrology, please join me in that chat so I can learn, and maybe you can learn a little something too. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate you so much.
Yes, thank you for being here. We'll catch you all in the next video.
Take care.